Hello and welcome back yet again to the Bibbs Corner podcast. I am your host, Mike Bibbins, and today I'm doing something a little different. So, coming into this year, I wanted to change the format of the show, and I wanted to always have someone on with me to discuss. I wanted to always do deep dives, but I think I'm changing that up. I've been inconsistent on posting these reviews because I've been waiting on having someone to review stuff with me, but everybody's busy, man. Everybody's doing their own thing. So I've decided to do something a little different. I'm going to start the day I watch a movie. I'm going to record a non-spoiler review. All right. So the day I see a movie, I'm doing a non-spoiler review by myself, unless somebody is readily accessible, readily available, but otherwise I'm doing it by myself. Then if someone wants to do a deep dive discussion, I will do that also. If it's at the same time, again, I just want to do the non-spoiler myself, and then I'll have a discussion with someone about the movie, show, whatever, separately. In a scenario that I do have someone with me to do the deep dive, and I haven't done my non-spoiler yet, I'll still do the non-spoiler, and then we'll do a deep dive discussion as well. But instead of it being all in one episode, I'm going to make it 2 different episodes. One thing I've learned, and I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to grow as I go. So if you're listening to these, because people are apparently listening to these, I have no idea who, but people are apparently listening to these. Any feedback is always appreciated. Whether you want to complain about something, I won't even say complain. If you want to offer feedback, suggestions, I'm open to that. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, all the time, because I want to get better. I want to make this what you want it to be. I want it to be something you can recommend to friends, etc., and so forth. So I've been doing a lot of experimentation on this side, and I hope that I'm figuring some things out here. But I've been listening to a lot of different movie, TV show podcasts recently, and I'm noticing some trends. I want to try some things out. So I might have mentioned this in the past, but another thing I was planning to do was like a big dump of movies, shows that I've been watching and haven't had the opportunity to talk about. That's not what this is, obviously, but I plan to do that. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do it because that list has gotten very long. I don't want to do one big episode, so I might do a bunch of little mini episodes, and hopefully you guys like that. Again, I want to do what's best for the people. I need to get better at letting the air breathe, or letting there be dead air. When I talk, usually when I do these solo podcasts or in the past, I have the tendency to feel like I need to constantly talk. And when I do that, I don't breathe. And like by the end of the episode, I'm like clearing my throat and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to try to make sure I'm taking breaths when I do this. All right. So that's housekeeping. Again, I appreciate everybody who's listening. I want to see those numbers go up. They kind of fluctuate right now. That's whatever. I know that I'm not at the peak of my abilities here. Other housekeeping, I guess. I am going to start posting more on my website. Hoping to put together a list of 10 horror movies, like lesser known horror movies, maybe that people haven't seen. That you can watch for Halloween or Halloween season, whatever, spooky season, all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing some like news drops. I still get a lot of PR emails about movies that are coming out soon or coming to VOD and coming to streaming, all that good stuff. So the people are still sending me stuff. I haven't written much in the past like year or so, and I need to start writing stuff or they're going to stop sending me stuff. I'm going to have some reviews of some of that stuff on here as well. So be on the lookout for that. I just watched a nice indie documentary that was very, very entertaining. I'm expecting Shad to do the review with me. If that is going to happen, it will occur. I'm recording this late Saturday night, so it will occur tomorrow. If Shad is going to be available for that, we'll see if that occurs. All right. So the reason y'all are here, well, I'm sorry about the housekeeping, but I'm trying to be an open book here. I'm trying to again, I'm trying to improve. It's funny, like the amount of success, and I mean, by no means is it major, major success, but comparable when you compare the two things that I'm doing, basketball podcasting, movie podcasting, the basketball stuff has taken off more than I ever could have expected it to. Right. And it's weird for me because the movie stuff is where I'm a basketball fan. I enjoy basketball, but it's not what I want my career to be necessarily. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but that was never my goal. But I do want to work in the film industry. And so I don't want to say it bothers me, but it's something that I'm very aware of, that I need to work on the film side of things, find more movie and TV people to talk to, all that good stuff. Anyway, so I said I was getting to the point, but here we are 6 minutes in. I have not done it yet. Let's get to it. Black Adam. The Rock said he's here to save the DC universe. He's here to restore the DCEU. If you know me, you know I do not watch trailers. I do not like trailers. I do not need them. Sam, I am. But Black Adam, I don't know much about the character. Didn't know what to expect for the movie. So when that first trailer dropped, I did watch about half of it before I decided I had seen enough. I planned to see it. I knew he had some type of relation to Shazam in some way, and that was pretty much the depth of my knowledge. And I was curious how they were going to do this Black Adam character, how they were going to get him tied to Shazam, if they were going to cross over, because as it stands, Shazam is my favorite DC universe movie. So, was that going to be a clash they were setting up, et cetera, and so forth? That's where my brain was at. Let's do a quick synopsis of what happened in Black Adam before we get into it. I'm going to read the synopsis straight off of IMDb. So, nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. And I might play the trailer. Let's do that.
The world needed a hero. Instead, they've got me.
Black Adam. So again, a lot to take in with this, but the movie had a great cast to start out with. First of all, we know The Rock playing Black Adam. Aldous Hodge, my guy, Aldous Hodge, from Straight Outta Compton, from Hidden Figures, from One Night in Miami. Excuse me. From The Invisible Man. From Brian Banks, underrated. He was in an episode of Black Mirror, Black Museum. From what else? Let's do Turn, Washington Spies. And it's always funny to me to know this, but he was in, if I can find it, come on. Where are you? There we go. Big Mama's House in the year 2000. And it's funny to me because it's a memorable scene. It was the scene when Martin, as Big Mama, takes Nia Long's son to the basketball court. Oh, wow. That just tied some things together. But he takes the son to the basketball court. Some kids have been giving him a hard time on the basketball court because he's a little soft kid. And Big Mama takes him out there, and they play 2-on-2 against these boys, right? A lot of time in these movies, you have these little small roles, and it's just like random people, and those people never become anything ever as actors. That ends up being like their only role, blah 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 blah. Well, that was not the case here. Basketball Teen 1 was Edwin Hodge, who is the brother of Aldous Hodge. Basketball Teen 2 was Aldous Hodge. Both very, very decorated. Edwin not so much as his brother, but both are out there in these streets. Edwin and Aldous have been busy. I think Edwin has 78 credits. Aldous has, he got to have more than that. Let's find out. They said they both have 78 credits. That's actually interesting. But they're both been busy. They're both been booked and busy, but it's always funny to me when I see Aldous Hodge and remember the first time I saw him was as a random basketball playing teenager in Big Mama's house. Anyway, so Aldous Hodge is in the movie. A familiar face. I love anytime I see him because of that small tidbit of his history that I'm very familiar with. Pierce Brosnan, talking about James Bond, folks, is in the movie. So again, Aldous Hodge plays Hawkman. Pierce Brosnan plays Dr. Fate, aka DC Doctor Strange. Noah Centineo, who was supposed to be the next big thing after To All the Girls, blah, 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 or To All the Boys. I said To All the Girls, sweet Jesus. But Noah was cast in this. He plays Atom Smasher, very charming character. Kid, kind of clumsy, gets really big. Looks like Ant-Man if Ant-Man was a young jock. Then we had Contessa Swindell, who I've never seen before, I don't think. Or Swindell. I wish I had looked up how to say her name. But she plays Cyclone. Basically can manipulate wind, right? I'm trying to see right now if I've ever seen her in anything. Come on. I'm going to scroll just a couple times. Probably not. It looks like her first role was in Euphoria 2 years ago. She's been in Trinkets, Granada Nights, Voyagers, In Treatment, Master Gardener, and now Black Adam. This is her 7th role. She is 25 years old. Okay. Then you had Sarah Shahid, and I'm only going to go over key cast members, and there were a lot. Sarah Shahid plays the mother of a young boy in the city where all of this is going down. Supposed to be a city that's been there since the ancient times, the first place where civilization existed, etc., and so forth. Her son is played by Bodhi Sabangui. He has also been in 7 things. I'm trying to see. He was in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, apparently, and A Million Little Things. He was in 7 episodes of that. But he was also in 2 episodes of the Netflix Babysitters Club show. So again, a young actor getting a big opportunity here in this role. Let's see, there's 2 probably more people I need to name. I'll do it, I guess. The main villain ends up being an actor named Marwan Kenzari. He played Jafar in the Aladdin movie. He plays Joe in The Old Guard. He also is in What Happened to Monday. So he's been in some stuff. Finally, the brother of Sarah Shahid's character is played by Mohammed Amer, who I believe I've seen. Oh, that's where I knew him. That's why he was so familiar to me. The new Netflix series, I believe. Yes, Netflix series Mo. which looks very interesting. I need to check it out. That's where he's from. That's where I reckon. I was like, man, this guy's face. I know I've seen him very recently. It's those Mo ads that keep showing up on my screen. This is actually only his fifth role with Mo, the series being his third role. I also believe I might have seen him do stand-up. Now that I think about it, he has done some stand-up work. Besides the obvious acting. So anyway, large cast, a lot of people, right? Henry Winkler makes an appearance, which was nice. I'm watching Barry right now, so definitely seen his face a lot recently. But that's the cast, and I can't believe it took me that long to go through the cast. I want to get to these thoughts and impressions. So my immediate thoughts and impressions after coming out of Black Adam. I enjoyed it. So much talk around. I saw all the critics coming out saying the movie was trash, blah, 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 blah. The Rock can't act. And I'm like, what are we doing, man? This is a superhero movie. I'm not looking for Oscar-worthy performances. I just want to be entertained. I just want to have fun. And I did. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. The critics have it at 41% fresh. The audience has it at 90%. Folks, I encourage you to never be discouraged by critic reviews when it comes to comedies, when it comes to action movies. Those are the two, and sometimes horror movies too. Those are the genres where it's all about what you like. It's all about your personality. A comedy that makes you laugh, if it's the type of comedy you like, you're gonna have fun. But a critic may think that the story didn't matter to them. I don't care if the story made sense or whatever in a comedy. I just want to laugh. You know what I mean? In an action movie, I just want some dope fights. I just want a cool character to follow. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care if the story makes complete sense. I don't care if he should have died in the first 5 minutes because he somehow was getting shot at by 15 people with machine guns and not a single bullet hit him. I don't care as long as I'm entertained and having fun. And the same goes here for this superhero movie, Black Adam. I want to get the backstory. I want cool characters. I want cool interactions. I want to see superhuman activities occurring on my screen. And that is what I got. So overall, I definitely fall in line with that. The audience here. I don't know what the critics were expecting. I don't know what they wanted. Had tons of fun watching this movie. I laughed at an inappropriate part. Felt really goofy. I'm not going to get into that here because this is the non-spoiler section. I can't spoil stuff. What did I like? What did I not like? So what did I like? First of all, The Rock was clearly having a lot of fun in this movie. I loved it. I loved that he was having fun. The powers, the abilities, the music, it was great. Everything enhanced the movie. The first big fight scene with Black Adam, basically just showing off his different abilities, pretty much. I want to say I saw some of that scene in the trailer, but not a ton of it. Loved it. The backstory was interesting. It's not something that I've never seen before necessarily, but it was interesting. I bought into the backstory of how he came to be. Right. They spent a good bit of time on it. Some people might have been annoyed by that. I don't care. I needed that backstory. So that was fun. Then when you introduce the modern day city, explain that different mercenary groups keep taking over the city. They're pretty much in the same situation that they've been in since 5,000 years ago when they were the first civilization, where outside rulers keep coming in and running things, right? So we're introduced to some characters who are fighting against that. I liked that. There was a modern struggle. There was a reason for Black Adam to be called upon, right? I like that. I like the kid. I'm always looking for young actors, young actresses to include in my awards. So I think that kid is going to qualify. I keep finding 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds playing kids. I think this kid was actually a kid. So we'll see if I can get him on my award short list for best supporting actor under 18. Next, the expansion of the DC universe. Executed fine. It wasn't perfect, but it was fine. We got Waller showing up. We got the Justice Society being introduced, led by Aldous Hodges, Hawkman, in his indestructible spaceship. I don't remember Hawkman being as fire as he seemed in his movie, but I don't care. Hawkman was getting busy. All right. Unlike somebody pointed out, DC's characters are like gods and Marvel's characters are like humans that got enhanced somehow, pretty much. They're mortal. I guess that's true because Hawkman was getting busy. They keep putting wings on black men. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Anyway, Dr. Fate. I didn't know anything about this character at all. His abilities looked a lot like Doctor Strange's at certain points, and it was kind of, I don't know if I should say that. I'm not going to say it. His abilities looked a lot like Doctor Strange's, but he was dope. They gave Pierce Brosnan some great dialogue to work with. His personality and his dynamic with the team, it worked for me, right? Then we get two kids introduced, some young heroes for the DC universe. I guess Cyborg was kind of supposed to be that, and the Flash. We got some more younger characters being introduced. They're supposed to be in their low 20s, I think. But you could tell they're not really experienced in the field. Cyclone, really smart black girl. Her abilities seem interesting. I can't tell what her durability is, but her ability to manipulate wind, create, throw things around basically with wind. Cool to me. Very visually great. Her hair flying all around. I loved it. Atom Smasher, a kid who is apparently inherited his abilities from Henry Winkler, who apparently was the original Atom Smasher. He's now the third generation of the family with this ability, and it's his chance to take on the mantle. Loved it. Like we don't need all that. We just need to know, tie him to the character for the comic people to accept that he's legit. Tie him to the character and throw him out there and let him showcase his abilities. His ability is he gets large. And he clearly is not that experienced with using it, which is used to great comedic effect during the movie. So we get this scenario. I loved that. Now, The Rock is dramatic. We know that. The Rock is very, very dramatic, and it worked for me in this movie. He comes back. He's very serious the entire time, but he's still cracking jokes, and it worked for me, man. Like I don't know. Again, I don't know what critics were hoping for, expecting, but this worked for me. All right. I think it's time. I think where am I at? I'm about 25 minutes in. I can't believe I talked for 25 minutes. Well, 5 of it was wasted on intro stuff. So we'll say I talked for 19 minutes about this movie. And I probably spent like 10 minutes on the characters and shit. Anyway, the last thing I want to get into, since I'm not getting the spoilers, is my rating. And for those of you who don't know, I try to do my ratings on a scale of 1 to 5 with decimal points between. So you can get a 4.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 in the middle, right? The way I do it, I have 5 categories. I rate each one 1 to 5, and then I come up with an average after I do that. And I'm going to do that live here right now with you. So the first thing, did they accomplish what they set out to do? I think they did. Do I think they did it perfectly? Not necessarily. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5, right? They did their job. It's going to be at least a 3. How well they did it, I'm going to bump them up to a 4. They wasn't perfect. So 4 out of 5. Second criteria, overall entertainment value and recommendability. I got to give it another 4. I don't think it's for everybody, but it is fun. If you're into action, if you're into the superhero stuff, you don't have to be, but if you're into superhero stuff, especially, enjoy the movie. So another 4. Emotional connection to the story or characters. I'm going to say 4 again. They didn't make me cry or anything like that, but and I think part of my criteria for that is to get that 5. You gotta get me on. You gotta get a tear out. So I'm gonna give it a 4 on that. I cared about the characters. I didn't want the characters to die. I care about the mantle of Black Adam, and I want to see these other characters again. Like they set up the world, they set up some characters. I want to see these characters again. So I'm giving it another 4 on my emotional connection. X Factor. This is a big one. This is always a big one. I put this one here as to kind of separate the mid from the amazing. So X Factor, was there great acting? Was there something completely fresh in the movie? Did it do something that I wasn't expecting? Maybe. I can't give it that. I can't say it had a great X Factor. It did some stuff. And you know what? Some of the action scenes were pretty epic. So I'm going to give it. I'm not going to give it a 1. 1 would be 0 will be the lowest, but 1 would be blah. So I'm between a 2 or a 3 here. I'm going to say 2. Just just for the action, some of the stuff they did with the action alone, I'm going to give it a 2. And then finally, did it keep me guessing? Did it keep me on my toes? I'm going to say yes. So that's at least a 3. No big twist or anything like that. Well, they did hit me with a couple okie dokes now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to say 4 here. So add that up. I think it comes out to 18. And then 18. Wait, that's 18? Yeah, 4 times 4 and then 2, so 18. So 18 divided by 5, 3.6 for Black Adam, which feels low-ish, but maybe not. It didn't blow me away. It wasn't amazing. It was just good. It was fine. It was 3.5 is the threshold for freshness on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. So this is above that threshold. 3.6 puts it in line with movies like Turning Red and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to put it above Doctor Strange on my list. And I believe Doctor Strange was boosted by the fact that I was already... Oh, no, it was actually... Doctor Strange was boosted by Scarlet Witch, pretty much. So let's go ahead and do it. Black Adam falls in at 3.6. It is my top movie in that 3.6 rating, above Doctor Strange and Turning Red. So that's it, folks. Got you in and out of here. 30 minutes. That's what I like to see. I like that. Yeah. What will I review next? Again, I told you I might be talking to Shad tomorrow about this documentary. That'll just be a 1-parter. I don't need to do a non-spoiler for that. Just enjoyed the documentary. We'll talk about it. And then I'll start doing my little mini hitters for shows and movies. So thank you as always for tapping in. Hit me with a 5-star review, Spotify and Apple if you can. Again, feedback. I need that. Bars. Hit me in my DMs, whatever. Just let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you think this is a smart change to do the non-spoiler, spoiler separate, let me know. If you think it's goofy, you just want it all together, let me know that too. Until next time, though, peace.